The sun is not fire, it is a wound in the Aurbis, torn by the Godhead's fall. Consciousness its light does not spills through this rift warm it screams. Agony, what if every dawn is a requiem, every sunset a whisper of what lies beyond? The Aurbis bleeds, consciousness its light does not spills through this rift, agony. To look is to witness a death that never ends, what waits where that light begins? The sun's light is not warmth, it is the Godhead's scream, bleeding through a fracture in the Aurbis. The Aurbis itself is no stable realm but a dreaming husk, tethered to collapse. The towers, ancient and fraying, hold back the void, each tremor weakens their grasp. If they fall, the mundus fractures, and reality dissolves into the Godhead's waking nightmare. The hero's quest is not to save, but to silencito smother the scream before the dream shatters. What becomes of a savior when the light is not hope, but a death cry? Every sunrise is a countdown, 107 words. In the dictionary of the Dragonborn, the sun and moon are called rifts in the Aurbis. The Book of the Dragonborn adds, light is not warmth but memory. Sermon 36 of Vivek calls the Aurbis a dream wound in the Godhead's skull. What if every sunrise is a projection of its unraveling? The sun's path across Tamriel traces a fractured geometry. Not orbit but a bleeding edge. The Elder Scrolls describe its light as a language without words. Scholars dismiss this as metaphor, but what if it is transcript? A scream too vast for sound, funneled through the Aurbis' broken shell. The monomyth hints the dawn is a dirge. If the Aurbis is the Godhead's dream, then the sun is where the dreamer claws at the walls of its prison. Each photon a shiver of agony, every nightfall the wound narrows, every dawn it yawns wider. What do the stars see hanging above this leak? What waits beyond the Aurbis veil, feeding on the Godhead's scream? The light you call life may be its elegy. How many more mornings will you watch, unaware you are staring into the end of all things? The sky split with a sound like shattering glass. Magnus' essence bled through the fracture, not fire but a golden, shimmering haze that clings to the air. This is no Starthies is a wound. The light has no heat, only the searing weight of a god's anguish. You feel it in your bones, a high, wordless wail, too vast for mortal ears, vibrating in your teeth. The scent of ozone and burnt metal lingers where the Aurbis tears. When Magnus tore free, the Aurbis screamed. Not with mouth, but with the collapse of infinite planes. His rupture left not emptiness, but asterisk presence asterisk a hole that asterisk is asterisk the sun, a scream that asterisk is asterisk its glow. The Magna follow, smaller fractures trailing his flight into Aetherius. Each lesser star hums a quieter dirge, shards of his agony scattering across the void. To watch them rise is to witness a god's aftermath, his essence splintered into 1,000 whispered regrets. The paradox deepens. This light does not nourish it asterisk bears witness asterisk. Every sunrise is a paradox, warmth that hollows, brilliance that bleeds. The Godhead's consciousness leaks into the mortal realm, a scream so vast it bends time. You stand in fields, skin drinking this light, and do not weep. How can you mourn what you cannot comprehend? Yet the weight of it thickens the air, a silence louder than absence. The Aurbis does not heal, it asterisk remembers asterisk. And in that memory the sun burns not as star, but as scar. The light does not warm, it sears white-hot tendrils that etch themselves into skin, leaving not burns but questions. The air hums with a dissonant wail, a sound that cannot exist yet does, vibrating teeth and shattering glass in Tamriel's tallest spires. This is no sunlit dawn, it is a scream made visible, the Godhead's throat torn open by its own creation. At Red Mountain the earth split like a wound upon a god's chest. The tribunal's hands, grasping for stolen divinity, plunged into Lorkhan's heart. The mountain did not erupt it asterisk screamed asterisk. Molten rock was not lava but the Godhead's tears, searing the land into memory. Ash fell not as dust but as syllables, each particle a fragment of a shattered hymn. The tribunal's acolytes, cloaked in crimson, chanted as the sky bled gold. Did they hear the echo in their victory? A higher pitch beneath the triumph, a child's cry trapped in a stone. The Aurbis does not forget, it asterisk remembers asterisk. Every sunrise is a reliving. The tribunal's theft was not a theft but a severing a cord pulled too hard, yanking the Godhead's essence through the Aurbis fabric. The light now is not life, it is a dirge. A scholar in Alienor once watched dawn break over the salt flats and wept, not for himself, but for the light. For what it must carry, the cold comes later. When the sun sets, it is not night but absence. A void where the Godhead's voice rests spent, and in that silence the Aurbis hums, not a lullaby, a requiem. The convention of stars bound time's thread sealed the Aurbis fracture as yet the sun bleeds still. A rift, not a fusion. A hole where the Godhead's scream curdles into light. The towers stand on this wound, their spires threaded with that searing scream, reality's scaffold nailed to a scream. What is stability but a wound held open? The Aurbis does not hum its shrieks in harmony. Divinity is not essence. It is code, the Godhead's voice, a signal broadcast through millionfold fractures, each photon a syllable of its agony. The sun does not rise, it pours, a liquid scream, endless and engineered. The convention did not create Death, harnessed a death rattle, spliced it into clocks, into oaths, into the lie of order. The towers will fall, not from age, but from the math of a scream too vast to hold. When the Aurbis thread snaps, the mundus will not end, it will unspool. Rewound to the moment before the Godhead opened its mouth. And you standing in this borrowed light are built of that scream. Your bones hum with its frequency. Wounds are built of that echo, you are the machine. Bones, what have the hum with its frequency, towers truly stabilized, not time, not reality. Only the Godhead's final breath, looped and sold as dawn. The red year's eruption split the sky open, ash turned the sun black. Then the light came hotter, venomous, burning the scent of sulfur into the air. Red Mountain did not roar, it whispered. A fracture in stone, a paradox made flesh. You feel it stilled ground's faint tremor, like a heartbeat buried under ash. The moth priests say the Godhead's scream was a gift, a lesson, but what if it was a warning? What if the Aurbis, broken and bleeding, could not contain a paradox? The towers hum now with stolen echoes, their light a lie of stability. Yet in the red year scar there's a truth, the sun is not a wound, it is the scab. And every dawn peels it back, you taste the metallic tang of the Aurbis blood on your tongue. The moth priests do not ask why the sun's light smells like burning bones. They do not look at the towers and wonder if the machine is holding back a scream or amplifying it. The red year was no contradiction, it was a mirror, and you, staring into it, are the paradox. The sun is a wound, a rift in the Aurbis, not a celestial body. Its light is no fire, but a screamed Godhead's consciousness bleeding into the mortal realm. The Aurbis is not a single realm, but a dream of contradictions, folding mundus, oblivion, etherius, and the void into one fractured whole. This wound in the sky is both anchor and catastrophe. The light it spills is a technology we cannot name, a metaphysical force that stabilizes the towers, knitting reality's frayed edges. The Godhead is no god. It is a being beyond all realms, beyond even the Aurbis, its essence a storm of paradox. To scream is to exist is to fracture. The sun is its open throat, a wound that cannot close. Every photon is a syllable of its agony, every dawn a repetition of the first screamed moment the Aurbis tore free from nothingness. The towers stand because the Godhead screams, the Aurbis breathes because the sun bleeds. What we call day is a wound dressed in order, what we call night is the silence between its gasps. The red year was no anomaly. It was the Godhead's voice unbound, its scream spilling raw into the mortal world. And Yao still watching stand at the edge of that wound, not a paradox, a witness. The sun is not a star. It is a scar and the light you see, the Godhead's final word etched into the sky to hold reality together. The towers do not stand the pulse, their stone breaths hum with trapped screams, each pillar a splinter in the Aurbis skull. Touch one and the air reeks of burnt honey and rust, a scent that clings like a curse. The red year, skies choked not with ash but with syllables, the Godhead's voice fracturing. At Red Mountain the tribunal's hands tore through Lorcan's heart, not flesh but language, syllable by syllable, until the mountain itself howled. A taste of iron flooded the air, not blood but the metallic tang of stolen divinity, sharp on every tongue. Heroes kneel not to save but to listen. Their blades cut silence into the void, their prayers stitches in a wound too vast to name. The Aurbis dreams in fracturous every sunset a gasp, every dawn a cough of light. And beneath it all the sun bleeds gold, a scar that will not heal. What is awe but terror given shape? What is a hero but a scribe carving silence into the Godhead's open mouth? The towers tremble, the sky wheezes. The world is not held together by light, it is bound by a scream that refuses to die. What if the stars are echoes of the Godhead's scream, not light? The Magnagelus or Starsair fractures, where Magnus followers fell into Aetherius, carrying shards of the scream with them. The Aurbis is the Godhead's dream, a shifting tapestry. The sun, a wound torn in that dream. Its light is not warmth, it is the scream, raw and unbroken. The hero's path is to mend the rift, to still the echo before the Aurbis unravels. But is silence possible? Can a scream that built the sky ever be undone? The answer lies in the dark beyond the stars. What do you see there? What do you see there? The void unseen, unblinking swallows the Aurbis's wounds. Mundus, Oblivion, Aetherius. Is it the Godhead's other eye?